where we focus on helping organizations make sense of the data that they have and turn their data into insights for them to take data-driven decisions. And of course, we won't go on without a brief introduction to the founders of 10Alytics and how 10Alytics itself as an organization, came to be eventually. And my name is Adeza Suleiman, the founder of 10Alytics. I'm a data analytics expert, a data science consultant in the UK, worked with organizations in the US. And I've also worked as a data analytics consultant back in Nigeria with close to a decade experience across 5 sectors, from sports to educational technology to financial services, and also energy and automobile. Over the last decade, the focus and the drive for me has been to get more Africans into the tech ecosystem. And I would say we've been able to break new grounds, cover so many grounds in the achievements we've been able to garner over the last 3 years. And we aim to do a whole lot more, and we'll be sharing those insights with you as we move during our session today. So Ifemena, you want to do a quick introduction before we go on?
All right. Welcome, everyone. My name is Ifemena April, the co-founder of 10Alytics, and currently I work as a data science contractor here in the UK. Also, I work with some organizations in the US and also in Canada. Prior to that, I've worked across different organizations in the UK, Ireland, and also in the US. I've covered different experience working as a data scientist, data analyst, data engineer, business systems analyst, and so many other roles. Okay. So yeah, my experience spans every aspect of the data ecosystem. Okay. And also I have a master's in data analytics, and quite a number of other experience along the way. Actually started my career as a management consultant. So for people that are looking to delve into the tech space, all right, and don't have any experience right now at this point in time, you're still, you just want to watch people practice and see what they can actually do. That's very interesting. I was like that at one point in my own career also. So yes, I transitioned into the tech space, and over time, I've already, garnered so much experience across different sectors, across different institutions, and all that. So yeah, you can connect with me on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram. Okay, and I'll be happy to take your questions. Okay, Adeza, yes.
All right, absolutely fantastic. So we'll also share this material, to everybody currently on the call. And for those who registered for the event itself, you get the slides. And at the end of this session, you'd also receive the case study for the hackathon itself. All right. Our achievements over the last 1 year, 2022 till date, has been to help over 1,000 people transition into the classroom. And for you to start to put this into context, this is people who have no experience. They've not worked in data before. They got into 10Alytics, completed their program, joined the internship, and we're able to help them land their first jobs within the tech ecosystem. And that's pretty instructive if you look at it from the perspective of transitioning. And for so many of you who would also want to get into the space, you've always wanted to be data analysts, data scientists, data engineers, but how do you start? How do you get there? And that's where we come in at 10Alytics. And our participants across the globe work with some of the biggest organizations, from HSBC in the UK to Microsoft to Revolut, the NHS, which I always say recruits the highest number of 10Alytics participants in the UK, and so many other organizations. And looking at the work we've done over the last 3 years, our work started to get a lot of recognition and publicity from top publications, where the Business Day, for example, spoke about how we helped Africans across 4 continents to land jobs. Nairametrics also talking about the hackathon we held in the year 2022. And of course, I, myself and Ifemena, we had an interview with The Punch where they were asking on how we can help what Nigeria and Africa at large make use of data to take data-driven decisions to shape policies and help the African continent grow. And so many other publications from the top media houses across the globe. PR Fire from the UK also reiterating 10Alytics commitments to helping Africans land tech jobs, especially in Europe and across the US and Canada. We've had major partnerships over the years. And one of the major partnerships we had this year, 2023, was with the pension operators in Nigeria. So we had a partnership with them to entrench a data culture and to also help to spread the data evangelism across the space itself, teaching them different areas within the data ecosystem and how it plays within the pension industry. And that's myself and Femena during the unveiling of that event itself. You'd have access to those publications and videos once we share the slides at the end of our today's session. Now, one of the main things we also looked at coming into the new year 2023 and also looking into subsequent years is the number of women, especially in the tech ecosystem. And you have just about 25% of tech roles filled by women. And we looked inwards to say that, how can we close that gap? How do we get more women into tech? And one of the things we did to commemorate the International Women's Day was to give scholarships to over 300 women to get into the tech ecosystem. And we started to see the results because International Women's Day was March, April. So we had March, April scholarships to 300 women. And so many of them have started getting jobs across the globe. We have 3 of them who I would say top 3 in the UK. 2 of them got jobs with the NHS. Another one got a job with one of the biggest, largest data consulting companies here in the UK as well. And that's one of the ways you want to get things done. You have to, be deliberate and intentional about it. And that's what we've done to help over 300 women this year to get into the tech ecosystem. Now, how do we do this? Through which programs and which drivers have we used to shape how we impact Africa, how we impact the data ecosystem across the globe? In 2023, we had 6 major programs that we offered to the public. And these programs were gotten from looking at the projection of where the world would be and the future of work. So we looked at so many articles. We also did our own analysis in-house to see where the demand would be. And of course, we saw that the demand was definitely going to be in AI, machine learning, data analytics, data science, and so many other areas shaped around the data space itself. And with that, we came up with 6 programs that we offered, which of course, these programs are high in demand across different locations. And that's the reason, one of the reasons why for those who join 10Alytics, they're able to come out and get jobs easily because of the demand within the space. And we offer programs in business analysis, data analytics, financial analytics, HR analytics, full stack data science, and of course, data engineering. So the year 2023, these were the 6 programs we offered across the data value chain itself. And we've had tremendous success for those who have been a part of 10Alytics and gone through our different programs. Now, we've also looked at the year 2024 and even projecting to the next 5 years. So between now and 2028, where would the demand shift? Where would you have increase in demand in different areas across the globe? And we've also looked at these 6 programs are absolutely still relevant between now and the next 10 years. But what are the other areas for those who want to diversify into different other aspects and where the world of work would be, where the demand would be, and so on and so forth? And we came up with 3 key programs to add to the portfolio of different programs that we offer. And the Scrum Master Professional training became instructive for us to push to the public. And the reason is very simple. You have so many professionals and so many organizations who also want to carry out effective projects and ensure that those projects start and get completed effectively. And that's why this role has been very high in demand and would also keep on growing according to the World Economic Forum. And based on the analysis we've done, where we scraped data from the major job boards across the different regions, and we came up with this program. The second is cybersecurity. And of course, this goes without saying. Cybersecurity is one of the major areas. Information security, cybersecurity, these are the areas that would keep on growing in demand, especially within the tech ecosystem. So these are the new programs we are offering in 2024, in addition to what we also offered in 2023. And last but not the least is AI engineering. Now, in the year 2024, we would have 9 programs within our portfolio that would offer to the public. And for those who have been a part of us would also understand that to get into the tech ecosystem also goes beyond just learning the conventional way. A lot of you have learned how to get into data analytics, data science, and so on and so forth. And based on my extensive experience within the space, also FMNA and the industry experts we also have working with us at 10Alytics, we know that for you to transition effectively, there are a couple of key drivers and levers that you have to take into consideration. And some of the things we also do to ensure effective learning is the duration of the program. Once you complete a typical program at 10Alytics would be 3+ months, 3 months to 4 months, which would include the capstone project, internship that also comes with the training program. And you get to learn from the best in the industry, the best people who have worked in that capacity. They've worked as data analysts, they've worked as cybersecurity professionals. You get to learn from them. So you're learning in 2 ways. You're learning experientially by solving those problems yourself in class, during your capstone projects, during your internship, and also learning from the experience of your facilitators. And of course, the sessions are always very flexible because 90% of people who want to transition today are either professionals or you are students either in the undergraduate or master's degree. So how do you blend your schedule with the training to help you get into tech? So we have flexible programs, usually during the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays. And of course, one of the most important aspects that a lot of people don't talk about is employability skills. So you're very good technically. You can write fantastic Python codes. You can create amazing data pipelines. But how do you stand out from other 1 million, 2 million plus people you'll be competing with for the same job eventually? And that's where we are different. And that's what sets us apart. And that's what has made us super successful across the 3 years that we've been in existence. And of course, that's the other 50%. Your technical skill, what you know how to do, how to use Python, how to use Excel, Power BI, Tableau, that's just 50% of the equation. You need to have a fantastic CV. So we do your CV for you, CV review sessions, LinkedIn optimization, Upwork optimization, of course, to help you apply and get remote opportunities, work as a freelancer, navigating the job market. How do you understand the nuances of the different job markets you'll be playing in and trying to get jobs across eventually? And of course, recommendation and references. And you have the job and interview preparation. So you have an interview. How do you preempt the type of questions you're likely going to be asked? How do you prepare to know that these are the things I need to take note of when going into that interview? We also have the mentorship sessions. We have every Thursday evenings for every participants that join us. And last but not the least, on the job support to help you have a soft landing and to get you fully prepared to get into the workforce eventually. So these are the key skills people don't really talk about, but I'll tell you for a fact that this is just as important, if not more important, than the technical skills eventually, because your technical skills are a given. You're expected to have the technical skills, but what sets you apart? What makes you different from that other individual that'll be gunning for the same role? And this is where we make the difference and why our participants have been so successful over the years. This is the 5th edition of the hackathon we started in the year 2021. We're having the 5th edition today. We've organized 4 hackathons already, and this is the 5th edition. So we do it in a mix and match manner. All right. We have one for the general public, and then we have one specific to 10Alytics alumni for those who have joined our training program, eventually. So we've held 2 hackathons for the general public. We've also held 2 for 10Alytics alumni. The one we have today, we are starting today, we are launching today, is for the global data hackathon. Everybody can participate. You're a 10Alytics alumnus, or you have not heard about 10Alytics, but you are a part of this event. You can participate in today's session. All right. We've had, of course, the very first hackathon we held was on the 9th of October. And the case study was focused. Like I said, the focus is always on the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals. How do we take data to solve problems that are plaguing the world in the context of Africa? How do we start to, solve Africans' problems by providing actionable solutions using data as a key driver to coming up with those solutions? The first case study was solving the problem of malaria in Africa. And of course, we had amazing, fantastic winners. We had 4 winners because we had a tie for 3rd place. And the first position, if I remember his name now, Obina currently, from this hackathon, he got a job. One of the judges recruited Obina straight out of the hackathon. From there, Obina is currently in the US working with one of the largest companies as a data scientist today. And these are the opportunities that spring up from global events like this. And I would say take every single opportunity you have today to do your best and ensure that you present the very best version of yourself eventually. The second hackathon we held was in solving the education problem, the education crisis in Africa. And this was 2022, 8th of May. And we had amazing winners as well. We had Kola, Matthew, and of course, Chukwuemeka. And they had amazing, fantastic cash prizes eventually. Again, we had the most recent hackathon for the general public that we held in December 2022. Of course, as the events unfolded years into the year, we had amazing, bigger prizes, better opportunities. And this year would be a bang in terms of the prizes and opportunities. And that's why I say take every single opportunity that comes with this hackathon today. And of course, this held last year, December, similar to the event we are doing today. And we had a case study focusing on the health sector, helping to find out and provide solutions to the medical related issues across Africa. And of course, we had a total cash prize of about $1,000 for this particular event. And the most recent one we had on the 13th and 14th of May, which was specific to 10Alytics alumni. The case study was focused on a deep dive into poverty and life expectancy. All right, how do we solve the issue of poverty across the globe? We had Rita, who came tops, and Mohammed came second as well. Fantastic event with fantastic solutions and presentations from some of the brightest minds you'd find across the globe. Going to today's event, which is, like I said, one of the biggest and the best we've had so far, December 2023. And you guys, I think you are also part of history being a part of this event today. The cash prize is $1,500, but of course we have more prizes which cannot be quantified, I would say, directly into cash rewards, the article publication, opportunity for internships, and so on and so forth. But the cash prize is $1,500. And of course, this is global. Everybody can participate, irrespective of where you are across the globe. And very, very shortly, we'll be unveiling the amazing judges that we have to look at your presentations tomorrow, give you constructive feedback, and to also assess your performance and score you. Okay, so they'll be introducing themselves, and Femena would do the honors of introducing them to us in the next slide. Again, I want you to sit back, like Femena said, take a pen, take a paper, make down notes, and ensure that you come into tomorrow's session, the presentation, fully prepared to deliver. and to ensure that you marvel us with your amazing presentations eventually. Okay, so let's get to meet our judges who come from some of the biggest and top organizations across the globe. All right, so if I may now hand over to you.
All right. So I'm absolutely excited. Even though I'm not going to be participating, but I'm honestly excited to, have everyone on board. Currently, we have over 500 people on the call, close to 600 people on the call. Now, if you're excited, who is going to be the winner? Let's establish that. Who wants to win the global data hackathon for this year? If you are going to be the person, put a one in the chat. Let me see. All right, everybody wants to be the winner. Yes, we are all winners, one way or the other, either through gaining experience, okay? All right, or you winning the cash prize. It really doesn't matter. One thing that you should take away from this is as long as you participate, you are a winner, okay? So we're all winners, okay? All right, so going into the judges, yeah, like I said at the start of the session, Adeza reiterated also, we have the brightest, the smartest, the most experienced people coming from across the world to come and judge you on your presentations. All right, first in the house, we have Adejoju Ajani. So the judges, I would like you to turn on your video so that we can, like the people that you would be critiquing will get to see you. So Adejoju, if you can turn on your video, let's get to see you. Sadiq Akintola also. Okay, so Adejoju Ajani is the head of data and analytics with InterSwitch Group. Sadiq Akintola is currently working with Google as a smart analytics customer engineer. All right, and I think they are coming up already. Yes, that's good. Esther Munier is currently the chief data and analytics officer at Sustain, and Nkumisa Alapo is currently the senior manager business data insight with Afrocentric Group, and Sebastian Obeta, currently AI analytics research specialist. Okay, so you will see their beautiful faces on your screen at the moment. Okay, you see their beautiful, handsome, faces. All right, so if you could I would just want to give like 1 minute for you guys to introduce yourself. Just talk about yourself, your experience, what you're expecting from the hackathon. I think that would be good for them to hear from you also. So I'll be starting with Adejoju. Adejoju, do you want to go ahead?
Yeah, sure. Thank you
The
so
camera is a
much.
bit blurry. I think you might want to clean the camera. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think there's actually something wrong with
Okay.
my camera. So sorry about that. I'll join on my laptop. I'm in transit. So anyways, thank you for having me. I've listened to the entire discourse so far. I'm actually very excited. I'm always very happy when I have an opportunity to connect to data people. In fact, I always say it's a thrill of my life. I'm looking forward to all the different submissions. And I know that even myself will be able to learn one or two things. So like Adaeze and Efemena said, I think everybody should come with their A game, put your best foot forward, I think this is, I wish that when I was starting out in the industry, I had an opportunity like this where I could join an hackathon and all of that, and connect with people and sort of like learn and also give value. So I think you have an opportunity of a lifetime and you should definitely grab it. So again, pardon that my camera is a bit blurry. I would join through my laptop at a later time. But my name is Adejoju, like everyone has said. I work with InterSwitch. I've been in the data ecosystem for quite a bit. And I'm one of those, I like to call myself data evangelist. So you will find me anywhere where they are trying to, talk about data, sort of like also mentorship around data, ensure that people are converting data into actionable insights to drive businesses. So my aim really is to ensure that we convert as many companies as possible to become data-driven in Africa. So again, thank you for having me. That'll be all. Thank you.
Fantastic, fantabulous. Let me use that. Okay. All right. Let me take Sadiq Akintola. Sadiq, do you want to go next?
Hi, can you hear me?
Perfectly, yeah.
Okay. Good morning, everyone, and thanks for having me. So my name is Sadiq Akintola. I currently work as a customer engineer, Smart Analytics. specialist at Google. I'm based here in the UK, so I work with a lot of customers across UK and Ireland on how to use data and analytics on Google Cloud and how to build data infrastructure. As you would know, data is everywhere in the world. So, and Africa is not an exception. We use data in Africa, we use it in Europe, we use it in Asia, everywhere. So the demand for data analytics professional is just so much. And one thing I used to tell people is there's a hierarchy of need for data professionals, and you really need to know exactly where you fit. And with that hierarchy of need comes the responsibility of knowing that there's so many people that are trying to do exactly what you do. There's people that they don't have data analytics background, and what they do is just take courses like this, go to hackathons and get better, and they have the opportunity of getting the jobs even more than you that have gone through like a boot camp and things like that. So it is really important that we get into our A game. This is the point of my message. We have to get into the point of our A games, and getting into hackathons like this is really, really important. It helps you to forge your knowledge. It helps you to forge your formidability. And when you get in front of that, when you get in that interview sit where you kind of get to show your experiences and show your knowledge, it will come out so pure, because you would have gone through a lot of experiences. So before now, I used to work as a software engineer in Nigeria. I worked at FMDQ. I worked previously at KPMG as well, before moving to Portugal to study my master's degree in data science and advanced analytics. And this is to tell you that knowledge is, you have to improve on your knowledge. Even when you become the first in this hackathon today, I know a lot of, like 500 people already said they want to be the first person, right? Even if you become the first in this hackathon today, it doesn't start and stop there. You have to improve your knowledge. And I think from the introduction, 10Alytics offers a whole lot of programs for you to, improve your knowledge, improve your experiences. I would say that really is key. After my experiences, after my master's, I joined Microsoft in Portugal. So I worked in the data analytics space at Microsoft also for just a little bit less than 2 years before now moving to Google. And you will see the progression from, learning experiences, getting better, doing hackathons, joining events, doing trainings, and, really getting myself out there and being the best version of myself. So, and I've done a lot of hackathons, and I would encourage you to just put in your best. I have been a judge. So the last 10Alytics hackathon in May, I was privileged to be called to be a judge in that, and it was really a pleasant experience sharing the stage with my Oga at the top, Sebastian, and I learned so much from that. So even now today, I couldn't turn down the opportunity to come back and be a judge in this event as well. And that's to tell you that people that you probably may look up to are actually looking up to you guys as well, to share your experiences with us, share your knowledge with us. We want to gain from you, and I can promise you one thing: I will be a fair judge and looking into all your presentations, all your codes, all your submissions in a fair way, just so that the best presentation emerge as the best. So please put in the effort. We're looking forward to your presentations and submissions, and hopefully definitely learn from you as well. Thank you very much.
Absolutely fantastic. Thank you. Thanks a lot for that wonderful, speech, Sadiq. All right, so let's move on to Esther. Esther, do you want to go next? Okay, let me see if I can. Yes. Yes, you're good to go.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. My name is Esther Muni. I am the Chief Data and Analytics Officer at Sasfin Bank in Johannesburg, South Africa. And I am so excited to be here. This is my first judging hackathon ever. So I'm very, very excited. I look forward to seeing what you have to offer and what you guys are going to be presenting. One thing to note is I just want to say I am African through and through. I am born and raised in Nairobi, Kenya, but I now live and work in Johannesburg, South Africa. So that's why I'm calling myself an African, not necessarily a South African or a Kenyan. I do believe that Africa is the future. I believe that African youth, African people have so much to offer to the world. And I'm so excited to be here to be part of this type of process. I think that, and I want to say thank you to Efemina and Ediza, Elijah, and everyone who put this together. I think doing things like this, hackathons, and creating opportunities like this is so important. So I just want to say thank you. And for every person that's going to be participating, please don't take this for granted. Opportunities like this do not come around that often. Put your all, do what you can, be yourself, be authentic, bring in your ideas, be creative, be innovative, and it will succeed for you. Even if you do not win the competition, I think you'll still come out a winner. You will gain so much knowledge. You'll gain so much in terms of exposure, in terms of experience. So as much as if you might not take the top places, you will gain something out of this. So yeah, I have a big passion for data and people. I don't think there's any problem in this world that cannot be solved with data. So it's for me, this is a passion, and yeah, I'm looking forward to judging and also looking and learning. I think this is very much a bilateral process. It's not a one-way thing where I'm just judging or being a judge in the session. It's also me learning and listening and understanding how people are thinking and what ideas and creative, innovative solutions that people can build. So really looking forward to this, and I'm very, very excited to be here. So thank you.
Fantastic. Okay. All right. Let's hear from Uncle Misa Lapo. Do you want to go next?
Yes, sure. Wow. Yeah, so my name is Numisa Hlapo. I am based in Johannesburg, South Africa. I'm currently a senior manager for data insights at a company called MedScheme, which is a medical aid administrator, our biggest medical aid administrator in South Africa. I'm very excited to be here. This is like such an opportunity. I think just the energy in the room today and what everyone has said, it's charging up all the right places in my heart and in my soul right now. It's really a privilege to be part and parcel of this. I've been in the data ecosystem now for the past 12 years. I think it's it's about 12 going on 13 years. Since before there was a course anyway. You struggle to find people that could do a course in class. So it's I think this hackathon for me is indicative of the opportune time that we find ourselves in as data enthusiasts in today's world. We really have a blank canvas that you can create for yourself and draw the kind of career and kind of future that you want for yourself within data. So, thank you so much to everyone at 10Alytics for rallying behind this mission, because I know it's not a small one. It's very big, but the impact, I'm telling you, it's going to leave beyond you. It's one of those things where you build trees whose shade you will never get to enjoy. So I'm really honored to be here. And I think to everyone that's in the call that's participating, I think just your contribution and your participation here today is an indication that you understand something about where the world is going, right? You may not have it all figured out, but you understand something significant about where the world is going. Because where we are going right now, there's going to be hardly, we're going to a place where it's going to be very difficult to breathe without data or without understanding data. So, I mean, the space is fertile. It's a breeding ground for us to create what we want to be. And I think most importantly for Africa, I think just like Esther said, I'm very passionate about Africa. Most importantly, I'm very passionate about African young people because I understand the treasure that we hold. And I don't think the world has seen if they think they know what African young people possess, they haven't seen even a fraction of it. And I think it's about, high time that we start to exploit that demographic dividend, because South Africa has got a very predominantly young population, and that is our advantage. That is our goal. That is our gold. All the minerals that we possess, I think, are nothing compared to the energy, the talent, and everything, all the potential that is untapped that sits in us as the youth of Africa. So to be here for me is exciting, because it's a sign that we are finally coming to a place where we understand where our treasure lies, what we are capable of, and we're finally at a place where we are ready to show the world that African youth are who they think they are. We are who we think we are. So I'm excited. All the best to everyone that's here. I know the fact that you are here and you participated and you followed the process means that you are ready. Take all the nerves out and know that no matter what direction this hackathon goes for you, you have taken a significant step towards, a very bright future. So just go in with that mentality of knowing that no matter which direction it goes, just pour in your heart and know that you have taken a very significant step towards your future. And it's either way that you go, it's going to turn out very bright. So thank you so much.
Wonderful. That's absolutely. If you're not charged up after that, I don't know what else to charge you of, honestly. So thanks a lot for that, Ifemisa. Quite a number. Okay, anyways, let me allow Sebastian go ahead. Sebastian, you're one of the house already, so please go ahead.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Good morning, participants. Good morning, fellow judges. Good morning, organizers. And good morning. If I said, I'm a friend of the house, and I'm super excited with the energy in the house this morning, and good enough to share the same platform with Chief Sadiq, actually. So, interesting part of this is a moment of learning, because I roll my sleeves just as you roll your sleeves and get the task done alongside. So I'm a data scientist, currently working with University of Cambridge. I don't know why when I see flyers and see AI ethic research specialists, yes, that's still part of my role, because with the advent of AI taking place, I've decided to go into that, and we are gradually building ethic engines across the globe at the moment. So yes, I work with University of Cambridge with the Department of Business Information and Strategic Insights. Currently, I'm an AI ethic research specialist with AI Tech UK, and we're the ones driving the ethical side of things, trying to checkmate some of the open AI stuff that we've seen in the world at the moment. Also, I'm an editorial board member for two big AI journals in the world. And yeah, so I want to just say this to everyone who is participating in this. If you are the winner, yeah, that's great. If you're not the winner, you need to understand that this is an opportunity. Opportunity like this is kind of a multifaceted learning. And for me, it's a learning process that not only tries to enhance your technical skills, but also to foster teamwork, innovation, problem-solving abilities, quality, high value in the data-driven industry. Just as my fellow judges said, they've said, we're in a world where we need data to do one or two things, and anyone making decision outside of data, it's just saying his or her own opinion. Now, you need to understand how the world is going, and if we need to solve this problem, we then need to come together as an Africa in order to find that solution to the pressing need of Africa as a globe. In one of the boot camps that I spoke, I made them look at the way things are going within the ecological space, in the sense that we are coming to a time where open AI may decide to be a closed AI. Then what happens to African soil? You may want to check that on my page on LinkedIn. Open AI becomes it, because it's no longer between the race between human. It's no longer between the race. The AI race is now between humans. When you look at what is going on within the CEOs, within companies, and all that, you will just see that there are vested interest in all of this. So I was discovered to the world through a hackathon like this, and I've participated in hackathons, won several, and I've lost several. And the one that showed me to the world was the one organized by PwC UK, Microsoft, and UK Black Tech, where we designed a prototype that addresses domestic violence in the UK. And that was an innovative project. And that was just where my career started. Who knows, you're on this call, this may be your career journey at the moment, or this may be the point where you start shooting like a star to the world. And it's also one of those times when you've been learning and you decided to then put into practice what you've learned, because one, you may not know what you possess inside you until you compete with people within the globe. And that's what you need to understand. So from time to time, while you are learning, try to participate in events like this. And I'm super excited as well to be I'm super excited and humbled to part of the judges, because for me, it's a moment I need to start going back to some of those models, some of those critical thinking and tasks that I need to pick up and to brush in myself, so that when I come out tomorrow to talk in open space or to talk to fellow AI experts in the world, it makes sense knowing that you are not just saying it from a place of theory, you've practicalized it, you've shown what your words are, and you are driving it further. Please don't stop at this hackathon. Reach out to the judges, reach out to the people, your fellow colleagues that presented, reach out to them. You never can tell where that breakthrough that you are looking for comes into view. And I wish everyone on this call that will be participating a successful journey. And yeah, let's crack on. I'm rolling my sleeves already, and let's crack on this. Thank you so much.
Amazing, amazing. Please guys, use the clap the clap icon on your screen. So if you go to reactions, you would say clap, the clap icon. So I want you guys to give the judges a round of applause. These guys have decades of experience, coming to Georgia's for today's session, for the hackathon itself in general. So, please, yes, I can see some of them in the chats. Let's keep it coming. All right, let's go. All right. So moving on to the other thing now, I'm gonna hand over back to Adeza for him to just go ahead with the hackathon, what's gonna look like in the next couple of days and hours. Okay. Cheers, guys.
All right. Thank you very much for that, Ife. And to the fantastic judges, we are pleased to have you join us today. And of course, we look forward to an amazing session tomorrow. Just to show you the timeline of events and what to expect. Today and tomorrow, you would have the case study immediately after this session. You'd have the case study sent to you, to everybody. As long as you've registered to be a part of this session, to be a part of the hackathon, you'd receive the case studies to your emails. And it's also important that you are a part of the WhatsApp group, because communications, questions and answers would be provided using that channel. Okay. Would receive the submission. The deadline for submission would be at 10 p.m. West Africa time. Okay, 10 p.m. West Africa time. So immediately after this session, you'd receive the case studies, work on the case studies, come up with your solutions, come up with your presentations, prepare yourself to receive a congratulatory email afterwards. Of course, everybody should have that mindset going into this. Submit at 10 p.m. West Africa time. And of course, once we review the entries, we'll select the top 10 out of the total submissions and send you an email. You'd receive an email and also receive a follow-up call to let you know that you are one of the selected top 10 to present tomorrow. I also want to make it very clear that even if you're not part of the top 10, just like all the judges have said, this is a unique opportunity for you to learn. It's a learning experience. And one of the things I saw from the previous hackathons, and I was really impressed from those individuals, even months after the completion of the hackathon, they went back, they took their time looking at the submissions from, the top winner, the first, the second, and the third, and they came up with their final solution and still posted it on their LinkedIn profile. Now, what you'd find with such submissions would be an enriched final presentation. I was super, super impressed with some of the, eventual presentations that came out months after the completion of the hackathon. So don't look at it as a winner or a loser event. Eventually, everybody at the end of the day will be winners. It's either you are winning the top prize, you're winning the cash prizes, you are getting opportunities from this event, or you are using it as a learning experience, as a springboard to also delve and dive into the data ecosystem, depending on where you want to be. Now, tomorrow, where we have the presentations, would start at 2 p.m. West Africa time. Would have the top 10 presenters. The judges would rate, give you constructive feedback, ask you questions. So prepare for that. All right. Would collate the results, and of course would announce and present the top submissions to the public. It's also going to be streamed across the different channels. And I saw some names from the previous hackathon. I saw some names currently. So we have people who have won. They want to come back to win again. So for those of you who are joining for the first time, it's up to you to give them a run for their money. Okay, put in your best and ensure that you present your very best self tomorrow, eventually, for the presentation. We'll take questions at the end of the session because I'm sure you have so many questions eventually. You'd have 10 hours to submit, okay? You'd have 10 hours to work on the case study and submit eventually, all right? We have 12 p.m. West Africa time, but immediately after this session, all right? We're likely going to finish before 12. So immediately after, the case study will be sent to everybody. But the time that is sacrosanct is the 10 p.m. After 10 p.m. West Africa time, please take note of that. 10 p.m. West Africa time, depending on where you are. 10 p.m. in the UK, for example, will be 9 p.m. 10 p.m. in South Africa would be 11 p.m. Okay, so 10 p.m. West Africa time, we expect to receive your submissions. Very, very important. We close the avenue for submissions by 10 p.m. Also ensure that you join the WhatsApp group. The link to join the group would be in your email, the emails you received when you registered. If you haven't joined, please go back to the email, look for that link and join the WhatsApp group. That's the easiest platform where you can get your questions answered. Questions in the sense that, oh, I haven't received the case study, and so many other things you might have to ask eventually, okay? So you can ask your questions in the chat. I would have 10Alytics, employees and staff within that group to take and answer those questions that you'd have. So please, it's very important that you are in that group. Now, before we wrap up today, the last thing we have is the judging criteria. It's important that you also get to know this so that you know what to look out for and how to prepare and solve the problems you have, and also most especially how to prepare for your presentations tomorrow. Okay, the first criteria would be for us to look at how well you understand the case study. Okay, how well do you understand the case study? You'll be given a problem. And of course, for those of you who know, one of the major areas or one of the major aspects of getting a problem solved is getting to the root cause, understanding the problem, defining the problem statement itself in clarity. Okay, so that's very important. Would test your understanding of the case study you have to solve. Would also look at how well you communicate, your eloquence. Did you speak well? Did you communicate effectively? Were you clear? Were you concise? Were you engaging and compelling when presenting to the judges tomorrow? So that's also an area I would like you to focus on. So for those of you who might want to do some preparation, looking at the mirror, going to the mirror, talking to yourself, trying to present and rehearse your presentations, please be my guest and ensure that you do that, to get yourself well prepared tomorrow. Time management is also very important. All right, very, very important. And you'd have 10 minutes to present your findings, an additional 5 minutes for the judges to ask you questions. Okay, so we'll measure you based on your adherence to that time limit. Did you fall within the time limit? Did you go beyond the time limit allotted to you? We'll also look at that. So it's very important that you take notes. Number 4 is your ability to answer questions with conviction. And I would emphasize on the conviction. Okay, you're expected to work on the case study on your own. It's an individual task. All right, so you'll be asked questions to sort of test how well you understand what you're presenting. Okay, so your ability to answer those questions confidently, that shows that, look, I worked on this, I did the job, and this is the rationale behind whatever solution or technique you have decided to use eventually. And last but not the least would be the quality of your recommendations. All right, the quality of your recommendations and insights. So it's very important that you're original. Okay, you dive a little bit deeper to get insights that are actionable, that can be implemented, that are data-driven, gotten from the data that you'll be given today to work with. That's very, very important. Okay, so take note of these 5 different criteria. They'll be sent to you as part of the materials you'll be working with today. So take your time, digest it, understand it ahead of tomorrow's final presentation. Who can participate in this event? Do you have to be, at a particular level? Do you have to come from a particular region? No, everyone can participate. Every single person can participate to be a part of this hackathon. All right, so as long as you've registered, you're currently on the call, or you can participate in this event and we get to see your submission. And if you're lucky enough, you have good quality submission, you get to be a part of the presentation tomorrow. I wish you all the best. Like all the judges have said, and I'm just going to reiterate, put in your best work, ensure that you present the best version of yourself tomorrow. Once you've submitted, the next thing is for you to start preparing, okay, with the mindset that you'd be a part of the top 10. I would look forward to having you tomorrow to also learn from you and showcase your unique insights from the data that we have. I'll quickly show you a brief of what the data, the case study is, just the introduction, and then we'll call it a day. Okay, so I'll just show you a brief introduction to the case study, and then we'll take questions and then call it a day. All right. So the hackathon for December 2023 would focus on the challenges of unemployment. Okay, challenges of unemployment. Unemployment is a major issue, not plaguing just Africa, but plaguing the globe generally. But this would be in the context of Africa. So how do we proffer solutions that are actionable? How do we proffer solutions that can drive policy decisions and policy directions of governments and also policy makers across the globe as well, especially with the focus on Africa? So that's where our hackathon this today and tomorrow would focus on. So you receive the case study, which is very elaborate. Read it, understand what you're expected to do, and then dive in and get the problem solved. I would like to answer this key question because I know it would come up. Do I need to use Python? Do I need to use Weka? Do I need to use Tableau? Do I need to use Power BI? Do I need to use Excel? Do I need to use R? You can use any tool. If you want to use Cobra, if you want to use Lion, any single tool you want to use, feel free. As long as you get your result, you get your submission, you're able to present your findings to us. You're able to present the insights that you have. You are at the liberty to use any tool that you find comfortable. Okay, so we're not going to restrict you or box you into specific tools to come up with your solutions. No, use what is best suited to your abilities. Okay, that's where we'll focus on today. And I'll draw the curtain here by taking questions before we call it a day. All right, so if you have questions, we'll take maybe about 5 questions, else would spend another 1 hour answering all the questions possible. So you'd have the opportunity to ask your questions in your WhatsApp group as well. Okay, and that's why you have to be a part of that group. So I'll take the first 5 questions. So we can do that in the next 5 to 10 minutes, and then we wrap up. You receive the case studies and get cracking solving the problems. The first question would come from Daniel. So Daniel, I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself. Also, if you want to speak, ensure you're somewhere quiet so we can get your questions clearly. So Daniel, I've asked you to unmute yourself. Please go ahead and ask a question, Daniel.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Hi, Adisa. It's very nice being here, meeting everybody here and hearing about the case study. So I'll go straight to my question. Is concerning the judging criteria. So I understand that every participant here probably has their strengths and weaknesses. So I want to get clarification. The 5 of the judging criteria, are they equally weighted? Do they have equal relevance to total score?
Yes, they are equally weighted. All the 5 criteria are equally weighted and they're all relevant to the final score. No specific criteria has, a higher weighting than the other. they're all equally weighted.
Okay, thank you very much for that. And the follow-up question, I go through the judging criteria, and there were, maybe I didn't get that time, but there was no reference to the quality of how you communicate your insights through your submission. I mean, there's one concern, the quality of the documentation generated. Does that also equate to the quality of how you communicate these insights? Is that a factor that's also going to be considered under this judging criteria 5? Or is basically just the recommendation that you have from your analysis?
Okay, I didn't get all your questions. I didn't get the total question, but I think I understand the essence. You're asking that would your recommendations form the critical parts for the insights, the quality of the insights you'll be presenting? Am I correct, Daniel? Is that your question? Okay, I think you're muted again. So your insights, and let me give you a typical example, okay? I can look at the data, I can look at unemployment, and I can go online, go to Google, type unemployment in Africa, and I copy, oh, this is what we need to do. That is what we need to do. And I put that as my recommendations. Now, the question is that data driven? Is it gotten from the data that you have been given? Okay, you'll be given multiple data sets to work with. Are your insights generated from the data and the analysis that you've done? Okay, so that would form a part that I think that's one of the most important aspects you need to consider. If not, everybody just goes online to copy and paste what they see. So Daniel, in terms of the originality of your recommendations, ensure that it comes from the data that you've been given and you work with that. Can we use a combination of 2 tools? You can use 3, you can use 4, you can use as many as you want. Just know this, goodness, you have no limitation. Okay, you have no limitation to the number of tools you can use. I'll move on to the next question. Jonah, I've asked you to unmute yourself. Jonah, if you can hear me.
Yes, I can. Can you hear me, sir?
Loud and clear. Go ahead, please.
All right. Good day to everybody. Yeah. I'm really excited that I'm one of the participants. Quickly to my question. So, how do we submit? What's the mode of submission for the hackathon?
Yes. So a link will be provided. Will be sent to you in the WhatsApp group. Femena would send, no, I beg your pardon, Elijah would send it to you. And all you need to do is use that link to submit. Okay. So you upload your submission to a drive, which would, form a link sent to you by Elijah in the group. It will be sent to your email. It would also be sent to the WhatsApp group, but it's easier for you to get access to the WhatsApp as a tool for communication. So you need to be there. So all you need to do is click on that link and you upload your submission to the drive. Okay. All right. So I'll take 2 more questions from Jesse and V Maris. So Jesse, go ahead, please.
Right. Good morning.
Morning.
Jesse. Excellent. I know you had this simple regards to the page of the submission. So how many pages are we having? Is it a single page or a multiple page?
Submit everything you have. Okay. But remember that you'll be presenting for 10 minutes. Okay. So once you submit your work, you have your codes, for example, depending on the IDE you decide to use, submit all of that because we need to see to assess what you've done. Okay. However, you have your recommendations and insights that you need to present. So you want to take that into consideration as well. How do you want to present your insights? And over the years, we've noticed some people have done very good work presenting from their notebook. They're able to do that effectively. And that's why we don't want to box you into a single mode of presentation, because we could say, oh, use Canva, use PowerPoint, use Prezi. And at the end of the day, people are not very good with those applications. All right. So you submit all your work, but also remember that you'd have to make your presentation in 10 minutes. So if you take that into consideration, that would help you prepare ahead of the presentation that you have. Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. So you don't want to submit a PowerPoint that has just your insights recommendation and leave out your codes, for example, if you've used a Jupyter notebook. So you don't submit that, but you submit your PowerPoint. There's no way we can tell exactly what you've done, the codes you've written, and assess those codes and so on. So you submit everything you have, and that's what we'll work with. Okay. I'll take the final question from V. Maris, and then we call it a day. V. Maris, please go ahead, please. Right, I've asked you to unmute yourself, but we can't hear you if you're speaking. I can see you're unmuted. All right, I'll move on to the next person, Kolawole. So I'll take Kolawole and then we wrap up. Kolawole, go ahead, please.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Please, can you hear me? Please,
Go
can you hear
ahead.
me? All right, thank you very much. So my question is this: I want to ask that can we put our recommendation inside the software tool that we use? Like I'll be using Power BI now, and maybe probably I can create different pages. Then maybe inside the Power BI page, I can just pick a page and put my recommendation there. Is it possible? I have to take it out to probably Power BI or Canva or anything. That's my question. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can do that. You can put it in your Power BI. If you are using Excel, you can put it in another page, another tab or worksheet in your Excel. If you have a notebook, you can have a markdown at the last or at the end of your codes to put your recommendation. You can all do that. All right. But what we'd also do is just to help you get a little bit more clarity, would share in your WhatsApp group a criteria for submission. Okay. But just bear this in mind while you go to work. Okay. Because the case studies have started going out already. As we're wrapping up in the next 2 minutes. Okay, so get cracking, get the job done, get your solutions, your recommendation, your insights, generate all of that, and submit all the work that you have. Okay, you have your IDE, you have the Jupyter notebook, you've used a particular type of IDE, you've used Excel, you've used Tableau. Get that submitted to us, and that's what would be assessing. In terms of your recommendations, how you want to put it, you can put it in your Power BI, just like you asked them, Kolawole. You can decide to create a separate document in PowerPoint or a separate document in Canva to make your presentation. It's all dependent on you. Bear this in mind. You want simplicity. You also want the judges to understand exactly what you have done. Okay, so how best can you communicate to the judges for them to understand the whole work you'll be doing for 10 hours? How can you compress that and communicate it in 10 minutes? Okay, so I think I'll wrap it up at this point, and I would say one more time, I wish you all the best. Put in all the efforts you have, put it into this. Yes, you'd spend the most part of your Saturday solving this problem, but I bet you and trust me, it will be worth your while at the end of the day. Femena, you want to say anything to close?
All right, guys. I'm pretty sure you guys are excited. That excitement, please take it into the case study. All right, take a look at it. You'll be solving a very critical problem that is plaguing the whole of the world. But our focus for this particular session is focusing on Africa. All right. So please, when you're coming up with whatever you're doing, all right. And like I said, when everyone was typing ones in the chat for who is going to be the winner for today's session, all right, everybody's going to be a winner. And you'll notice a trend. You would notice a trend amongst all the judges that came to speak. Very simple. Majority of us have as being a part of one hackathon or the other. I have shared my own experiences on LinkedIn over time. All right. Hackathons is one of the main places where I personally learned some things in Power BI. I won that particular hackathon, but guess what? I still learned a ton of things from other people doing that same hackathon, during the hackathon itself. So those are the kind of things that you will get. So you're always going to win. the key thing from this thing, from this hackathon is please participate. If you can only do one side, you could do only one part perfectly very well. Do it very well. Do it the best you can. All right. So don't be looking at it and say that, oh, somebody's going to be working inferiority complex. Okay. Somebody's going to, these people are very good. These people are that. People are that. Do you understand? Don't feel that way. Go into the hackathon, focus on what you have to do. All right. Get it done. And just do your best. And those are the things that we are going to be looking at. All the winners in the last hackathons, guess what? They never thought they were going to be the winner. It has been consistent from the first time we started the hackathon to the previous one. And I'm pretty sure there's somebody on the call that is thinking that is not good enough. It's likely going to win. All right. So if you don't participate, you are losing out 100%. You are losing out 100%. All right. If you participate, there's a 50% chance that, or there's a chance that you can actually win the hackathon itself or be part of the winners. So I would endeavor you guys to participate, try your hands on it. All right. So even if the people that are going to be presenting tomorrow are presenting, you can start to see how you can improve on your own self and what you have to do. All right. So thank you very much, guys. And please go ahead. The case studies that have been sent to you. If you've not received the case studies, the reason why you're in the WhatsApp group, please ask questions. If you have any concerns, don't ask questions about how do I merge. I know nobody's going to answer that question. All right. So if you have issues with submission, you have issues with opening up the data or anything regarding that, we would answer those questions. All right. So please ensure that you are on the WhatsApp group. Ensure you have your email. All right. Ensure you have your email. And you can send us emails also to respond to your emails. And some of the guys, some of the brains behind the curtain, those are the ones that you're seeing on the call at the moment. We have Olawale Adeshina, we have Chukwuemeka Ipa, we have Isosa Bolahon. All right, so these are there are still quite a number of other guys with 10Alytics that are, pushing the narrative, helping other Africans across the world transition into the tech space. And I'd like to, these are my guys. So just unmute yourself and say hello to everybody. Let everybody see. Right? A quick hello to everyone so we can wrap it up from there. Hello. All right. Alawale, do you want to say hello to everyone? Just hello, quickly. So you can, at least, okay, you can't unmute yourself. Okay. All right. No problem at all. Thank you very much, guys. Have a wonderful day ahead. Okay. And wishing you guys all the very best in today's hackathon. So you have a few hours to go. Couple of hours to go. So go on, let me use Sebastian's word, yeah? Sebastian said, crack one. Let's crack it on, okay? All right. So let's get it on, okay? Cheers, guys.
All right. Cheers, everybody. Ask your questions in the WhatsApp group. Somebody would respond to you. Bye, everyone. Have an amazing time, guys. Cheers.
Bye,
All right, bye, everyone.
Cheers.